Yo, what is good, YouTube? Krishan checking back in with another video. Now, between the Amateur Olympia, the Tsunami Pro, and the Legion Sports Fest, we definitely had a very long weekend, but we are back to talk about some bodybuilding. Now, I do want to give a huge congratulations to James Hollingshead as well as Tonio Burton. I feel like both of them dominated their shows, James in Tsunami and Tonio at Legion. James seems like he finally has his confidence back after having that bad showing at last year's Olympia, and Tonio Burton completely shocked everyone in my opinion. We all knew he was going to look good. Some people had him winning, but Tonio brought an incredible package. I'm excited to see him at this year's Olympia. And in the first update of the day, you guys are looking at the most recent updates of Good Vito. Now, I know I'm a little bit late on these because contest coverage was the main focus for this weekend, but Vito looks incredible right now. And people constantly compare him to Andrew Jack and Crizzo just because they're the new guys, but Vito seems like he's going to bring better conditioning than both of those guys. I believe he's about 3 weeks out, should be competing at the end of this month. Not 100% sure about that. But this guy has a crazy physique, and I'm excited to see him hop on stage. I wonder if he's going to try to qualify for this year's Mr. Olympia. Now, switching over to William Bonac, he did recently put up this back double bicep update, and this was actually from 1 week ago. So that would have made him around 10 weeks out, and we can already see the striations in the glutes. Now, I've been talking about a lot of the newer guys coming in, maybe shaking some things up. But taking a look at William Bonac and Big Ramy, both of them seem to be in very good condition at 10 or 11 weeks out from this year's Olympia. And a lot of the more shapely guys that have been winning shows, mostly because of shape, I don't think they're going to get a pass at the Mr. Olympia. If you don't come in condition, I believe a lot of these guys will slip like we see happen to Akeem Williams when he doesn't come in condition. Now, Iain Valliere recently posted up this back double bicep on the left. We already talked about the last spread on the right. Now, Iain did say on a recent podcast he does know it's going to be very hard to maintain this 7th place position. As we've already discussed with all the new names, Andrew, Sampson, Derek, it's very possible that Iain Valliere could be fighting for their 10th place position. But similar to what I was saying about William Bonac, Iain Valliere seems to be in great condition 9 or 10 weeks out from this year's Olympia. And if guys don't nail their conditioning, I don't think they're going to pass up Iain Valliere. I think conditioning is emphasized more on that Olympia stage. Now, Blessing Awodibu recently put up this front double bicep from the Indy Pro, and the caption in this was he's going to be top 3 at this year's Olympia. Now, taking a look at this front double bicep, this very well may be one of the best in the sport. Only thing Blessing is missing is a little bit more tricep, maybe a little bit more quad sweep. And he does have higher inserted lats, but it makes the waist look even crazier in proportion to the shoulders. And do I think Blessing Awodibu will be top 3 at this year's Olympia? Well, in all honesty, guys, absolutely not. Blessing Awodibu will probably place in the top 10 though. Now, switching over to Quinton Eriya, I actually want to give a huge shout out to him. He commented on a couple of my videos this morning. This is Quinton from 2020 to 2022. And a lot of people say he doesn't really make progress or he progresses too slow. But as I mentioned in a recent comment, you can't blame a guy for wanting to put his health first. And I think the way that Quinton is approaching the sport of bodybuilding will allow him to have a longer career. But taking a look at the photos from 2020 to 2022, I would definitely say that Quinton has made some serious progress. Hopefully we're able to see him on a bodybuilding stage sooner than later. Now, staying in Canada for the next update, these are recent updates of Antoine Vaillant. Now, going into this year's Mr. Olympia, I'm pretty sure everyone thinks he's probably going to be battling around that third call-out. But Antoine is going to be a very dangerous guy whichever call-out he's in. He has a crazy amount of detail, especially in the hamstrings. A lot of guys in pro bodybuilding seem to be missing hamstrings. Antoine also has incredible stage presence, is a great poser, very charismatic. I'm excited to see him at this year's Olympia. He can definitely shock some people. Antoine also seems like he's going to come in a little bigger than he did earlier this season. So I'm hoping he can still maintain that same conditioning and detail. And I think that will give him an edge at this year's Mr. Olympia. And in the next update of the day, you guys are looking at the most recent updates of Behrooz Tabani. Behrooz is 5 weeks out of the Romania Pro. I'm not sure if he has the visa yet. He probably doesn't. But hopefully he is able to get to this show. I definitely think he could give a guy like Brett Wilkin some trouble. He reminds me a lot of Hadi Chupin, as I've said a lot of times. Crazy condition, has a lot of detail in the physique. And even though he does need a little bit more size to be truly competitive in the top ranks, as we see guys like Hadi, crazy condition and detail are able to beat bigger guys. And switching over to Nathan Epler, these are the most recent updates of him. Nathan said in the past 10 weeks he's put on 29 pounds from the rebound phase. Now, he's definitely going to need a lot of size to be competitive in the open class. He looks a lot better from the front and from the side. But overall, he said he was just killing himself to make the 212 weight, so open was the best decision. And I will keep you guys updated on him. I really like his structure. And you guys are now currently looking at Urs Kalecinski and Wilkin. And it seems like in the past couple of weeks, Urs has been training with pretty much everyone. Now, just to touch on Brett Wilkin for a second, he is about 5 weeks out from the Romania Pro. The only other person we know doing this show is Behrooz Tabani if he's able to get a visa. Urs Kalecinski, the only thing I'm really taking from these updates, he definitely looks bigger but also seems to be in great condition at 9 weeks out from this year's Olympia. Now you guys are looking at Urs Kalecinski and Terrence Ruffin. And Terrence Ruffin did say that this version of Urs Kalecinski that he's seeing could have beat Ramon at the Arnold Classic. But we all know that both of these guys are going to be improved at this year's Olympia. But in my personal opinion, I think Terrence may have a hard time holding off Ramon Dino. That's just my personal opinion, of course. And right now, Urs is definitely ahead of Terrence in means of conditioning. But Terrence has been the second best classic physique bodybuilder for the past 2 years. Also is back-to-back Arnold Classic champion. So I don't think we have to worry about him coming in condition. I would just guess that Terrence probably extended his offseason a little bit just to add a little bit more size. If you guys don't remember, he was downsized at the Arnold Classic, I believe about 7 pounds down. Terrence Ruffin had the virus during their prep but still wanted to do the show. And also in classic physique news, these updates were posted up recently by AJ Sims, Cement Factory, who is the coach of Robert Timms. Now these updates are not recent of Robert, but I am excited to see him hop back on stage. As you guys know, he beat Logan Franklin at last year's Texas Pro. At last year's Olympia, I believe he only placed around 10th. The Texas Pro was a better version, legs were a little bit down. But Robert hasn't competed in over a year, and he says he knows 100% his legs have improved. He did say he have 3 shows in mind for next year, but Robert is pretty much keeping all that under wraps. Now you guys are currently looking at the most recent updates of Fabian Mayr, and going into this classic physique Olympia, probably one of my favorite guys. I think Fabian can be in their first call out, top 5, battling it out with Ramon Dino, Urs Kalecinski. And I also believe guys like Alex Combernero and Mike Summerfield, also Logan Franklin, could be fighting around this same spot to get into their first call out. Every single division at this year's Mr. Olympia is going to be competitive. Now switching over to 212, these are recent updates from Ping Yunlong. And when everyone talks about the 212 Olympia, this is a name they always leave out. On the right is just an older photo of Ping, just so you guys can remember how impressive this guy actually is. I'm not sure how high he can place. He's a taller guy for this division. So Ping could stand out in a bad way, as in he's too tall, or he could just tower over these guys and demolish them. Now I also wanted to touch on this topic. Chris Aceto did say Derek Lunsford is going to destroy the Mr. Olympia. He's top 5 for sure. Now as you guys know, I've been grouping Heidi and Derek together because they're shorter guys, and I believe they could get pushed out by taller guys. But as I was saying earlier in this video, a lot of the taller guys we're expecting to potentially push their top 6, top 8 haven't really shown us they can get into the best condition. So I think it's very possible that Derek or Heidi could place second, or they could slip if they get outsized. Now ending this video here with the archive of the day, you guys let me know in the comment section below which legendary bodybuilder is this. And it's absolutely unbelievable that this guy did not win an Olympia title. Has to be something to do with politics. As always, I hope you guys did indeed enjoy this video. If you haven't done so already, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm Krishan from Go Fitness, and that's it. I'm out.